I picked this guy up a while back for petty thefts. He's got a code name.
Yeah, stay out of the way.
Come on, man. It's an outlaw name.
Just relax, pal.
Standing by for extraction.
It's cool to have a code name. It's not that weird.
Hey there, Alessio. My name's Dave Burgess, and I am your 11-second club winning mentor for your awesome 2D assignment that you uploaded. I think it looks really, really awesome, and it's so much fun to see 2D coming back. I know lots and lots of people love the feel and the energy of 2D, and we just don't get a chance to see enough of it. So it's really cool to see that you've done your take on this Guardians of the Galaxy dialogue in 2D. I love it. And I'm a ex-2D animator. I guess I'm still a 2D animator, even though I work in 3D now. I'm working in Animalogic in Vancouver, where I'm the Anim Soup on Lego Movie 2. We're in pre-production on that right now. You can look me up on IMDb. I worked at Disney back in the 90s. I worked on like Lion King and Aladdin and Tarzan. And I worked at DreamWorks for the last 15-odd years on, Madagascar and Trolls and Monsters vs. Aliens, all kinds of things, Megamind, whatever. So I think I have a pretty nice broad range of 2D experience plus 3D experience. So I think this is a match made in heaven for me to give you some notes on your shots. Your shot, actually, it's a single shot. So anyway, let's dive into it. So most of what I'm going to say is pretty subtle because I think overall your piece works really, really well. It's just trying to find a few places here and there to strengthen and simplify really the attitude so that they land a little bit harder. So to begin, with your first frame here, one thing I would always watch is just make sure your eye line is really rock solid. So here, make sure that cat is really looking down in the eyes of this little guy. And what you may want to try and do is, for your opening pose, if you're going to get kind of a rhythm like this, you may want to bring that elbow up higher like that. And then get your hand up kind of more like that to get a little bit of a nicer negative space like that. Right in through this area, right through in here, you know what I mean? So you're going to get a little bit of a nicer read on how he's holding this guy up, like that. So I think that could work really well.
I picked this guy up a while back for petty.
I think too, when you're doing the, I like that you're holding this and letting the audience take a look at it for a minute. That feels really good. I picked this guy up. I think that feels really good too. Once again though, really, watch your eye line. Make sure he's looking at that guy like that. Really looking down there. There's a little bit of volume in your brows right here, but that's not a big deal.
All back for petty thefts.
To me, when you drop him down like this, I kind of feel like that's a little bit soft. And here too, again, maybe you could just bring that arm up and around just a little bit higher like that to get a slightly nicer feel on that grab, like that. I think your hand pose feels really good, but I would put a little bit of an antic up before he drops him. Like here, you're just kind of dropping him down like that. I think what you'd probably want to do is, here, let me turn this onion skinning on for a minute, clear all, and I think what you'd probably want is to have him go from here and bring him up a little bit like this. And then down like that. Like that, you know what I mean? So that's going to give you a little bit of extra energy as he drops them, and I think that's going to feel really good.
Guy up a while back for petty thefts. He's got a code name.
And then here, watch your arc on the head right through there. That's pretty linear. It's moving across in a straight line. You may want to get a little bit more of an arc in that.
Thefts. He's got a code.
And then here,
he's got a code name.
When he says code name,
he's got a code.
I like that you're bringing those brows up code. I think you could probably get a little bit more of that kind of shape on the ode, like that. It's got a code, and I would hold those brows up a little bit longer, like that. He's got a code name.
Code name.
So code is all up like that. He's got a code name. And
Code name.
and then into his laugh, the code name, and maybe you want to get something a little bit more like that. Like this guy's such a goon, he's got a code name. You can show a little bit more of that derision, you know, with that, the kind of brows a little bit more cocked. And then this feels really good. I think you may want to get the brow, or the shoulders moving a little bit more through that, like that, to show a little bit more air being sucked into his chest, like that. I think your little your eye roll is feeling good. I would probably, if you're going to go up like this, I think that's great, but I would keep those eyes up a little bit, and then when you bring them down, I wouldn't bring them down in the middle. I would bring them down around the side. Like that. I think that's going to feel better. Like that. And then, let's see, so then the other guy pops up. I think that feels nice. I like how you're dragging the arms and bringing the arms up in a nice little overlap. That feels really good.
Yes, get out of the way.
Come on, man.
I feel like he does a really big move right here. I like how you're leading with the head. Come on, man. I feel like in a way you could probably get those brows down lower. When he starts pleading, he's like, come on, man. You know, like that.
Come on, man.
And again, maybe it needs to have a little bit more of this type of expression. Like he's a little, like, you know, come on, it's cool, right? He's a little bit more nervous about it. Probably get that one, the sneer up a little more, so you're getting a little bit more asymmetry in the mouth. And so this is feeling a little bit like that. So it's just kind of pushing that a little bit more like that.
It's an outlaw name. Outlaw name.
Relax, Batman.
And then it's an outlaw name. When he says that, it's an outlaw name. I kind of feel like maybe here you want the eyes to be a little bit more down, so he's a little bit more internal. This feels like he's looking over here, and this feels like he's more internal, thinking about what this means. So I think that would be a little nicer to get that attitude.
Relax.
Man, it's an outlaw name.
And then
It's an outlaw.
and I'm getting a little bit lost when he says it's an outlaw name with the lip sync, so maybe right through here, instead of going down, maybe you want to go, it's an outlaw name. Ow. So you're going to end up with, when you get, if this is your out, you're going to be a little bit higher, like this. Out. Like that. So you're kind of rolling the head over, so that when you do that, out, like that on the diphthong for the jaw, there's the head is tipped up a little bit so you can see it. It's hard to do a when your head is already down. There's just nowhere for that jaw to go. So if you roll it up and over, outlaw, like that, it'll feel better.
It's an outlaw name.
Relax, Batman.
And then I think here when he settles like this, name. So again, he's a little bit more, a little bit more internal, not just looking over at the side. And you probably want to end on something like that. Like, I know I think it's cool, but you know, so you can probably push that expression just a little bit, like that.
Relax, Batman.
And then I think when he gets bumped on the back, I really like that. you're going from there straight to an eye open, oink, like that. I think what you may want to do is really pull those eyes right in the middle of the whites of the eye to get a little more punch, like that. Ugh. And what's happening is here, the hand on the big cat guy is getting a little bit lost, so you may want to just slide him over just a little bit like this. Like that. So you have a bit more room to see that hand coming up like this. So when he whacks him, you feel it better like that. Because right now that's getting a little bit lost.
It's cool that...
And then I feel like you're recovering really quickly. I really like this expression, and I think this feels really, really good. Although you may want to, again, hold those eyes a little bit, a little bit bigger for just a little bit longer, like that. Whoops. And then I feel like right now it's super busy. He goes, oof, I've been hit, into a settle, like kind of this calm settle, and then he immediately looks over at him like that. I don't think you need this expression. I think you sort of want to go from this right to this, with a blink kind of in the middle. So in through here, instead of doing this expression, you just, you want more of a, like that kind of vibe. So he goes from there right up to there. You could probably open that up a little bit, like that. Keep this brow a little bit higher than that one. I like the asymmetry in the mouth. Make sure that those eyes are really looking at each other like that.
It's cool to have a code name. It's not.
And then here too, I think when he says it's cool to have a code name,
It's cool to have a code.
I think you can probably spend a little bit more time with him sort of going, it's cool to have a code name. Like get those paws up here and, oops, nice and big so we see him like that. And then even on this side, you're not going to see it as much, but again, if he's a little bit more over this way, if you just move him over that way a little bit, it'll give you a little bit more room to do this, but you kind of want that. It's cool to have a code name, so bring those paws up, pull them back, and then shove. And right now you've got the cat and the shove working in the same direction, like that. You're sort of going, oof. What you may want to do is delay the body a little bit, so he goes, shove, and the body moves in an opposing direction, like here. So when that hand comes across to hit, then actually the head goes back a little bit, like that. So he goes, oof, and that will feel really good. And then you can bring that arc around and move him across into this. That'll feel really, really good, I think.
It's cool to have a code.
I think right through here too, for this, when he's getting shoved, I'd say watch kind of what's happening with his face. Like if he's looking up, if he's looking up like this, like what are you doing? Like that. You kind of want to hold that through here, right? And then because the head is angled like this, I don't know if you need that in between right there. You probably just kind of want to go right kind of more to this. Whoa. Like that. So you're just simplifying that head arc a little bit. Like that. And then here, again, keep that head up a little bit. Like that. Whoa. Like that. And I like what you're dragging here on the rest of the body. That feels really good. And then, you know, again, by keeping his body back here a little bit, like this, see how nice that looks? There's no, they're not getting close up here, they're not tangenting, he's shoving him and then he'll move after him. So it'll feel like those two actions are less connected, and that'll feel really, really good. Let's see, and here, yeah, his shoulders are going back, there's his arm. Whoop. Probably display those fingers a little bit more, like that. Show a little bit more energy. Whoa.
I have a code name. It's not that weird.
I like how you're ending. It's not that weird.
Cool to have a code name. It's not that weird.
In some ways, I sort of miss something over here. Whether it's just a little, you know, shove, hand comes up and drops back down. It's not that weird. I think that could look really nice and break this up a little bit. Like that. And then go into your final pose like that with the hand drop down. I think that's going to feel really good.
A code name.
Yes, get out of the way.
Come on, man.
I think the little grab here is really nice.
It's an outlaw name.
Relax, pal.
So again, it's just simplifying and clarifying a few little things here and there that's going to make the big difference, because I think overall it plays really nice and the energy's really good. Let's see. I think here too, when the cat is doing his writing, and you go into that expression, I think you probably want to get, let's see, where's your last frame? 1, 2. You probably want to get those eyes to dart over, like from here, because he's doing his writing and he's not really paying super attention to the guy, to that. You want to do that before he goes into his action. So you're going to lead a little bit with those eyes, like that. Keep the head and the body pretty still. But I think that'll feel really good. This could maybe push that a little bit more. Drawing with a too big pencil here. You know, just push that little bit more like that.
It's an outlaw name.
Relax, pal.
There's a little bit of a eyebrow pop
Relax, pal.
right there.
Relax, pal.
When he says relax, pal, he goes into this.
Relax, pal.
I think you want to relax, pal. I think rather than going down and then popping up, I think you just want to go relax, pal, and then just kind of open up without that scrunch. That little compression feels a little out of place right there.
It's cool to have a...
It's cool. And I think that's it. So again, Alessio, it's really an honor to look at your 2D work and to offer a few suggestions. I hope my comments make sense. See if they make it feel a little bit better. And that's all I got. So thanks again for the awesome work, and bye for now.